Welcome back to your latest Carson's Take 5. Ryan and Sonu here. And with this one's titled, You Are the Smart Money, which we'll talk about in a second. But Sonu, you just informed me of the hat you're wearing. Bulls versus Bears. A lot of fighting going on. What's that hat about?
Yeah, and hopefully Bulls are winning right now.
I think
But
they are.
we were both in Omaha last week, and I guess you missed it because we had a reception and it was cool. But every time Carson does one of these things, it's like make something new. Like literally, a year ago, I was able to make a vest, kind of design it, put your own colors. This time it was make your own hat, design your hat, and I chose the Carson logo with the bull and the bear, and here I am. So. Next time I'll grab you as well, so that you don't.
I missed the vest last year, and I missed the hat this year. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm talking to too many people, but nonetheless, let's get into it here in the latest Carson's Take 5. There's been this interesting discussion, Sonu, about who the smart money is and who the dumb money is, and historically, the honest truth, it's widely assumed. Well, the big money managers that run all this money, they're the smart money. But mom and pop, they're the dumb money. Now, it's never this clear cut, but what's really fascinating is in 2025, I think things are flipped on their side, and I want your take on this. We've seen most retail, a lot of people we work with our amazing Carson partners, clients have followed their plan and haven't panicked and wanted to sell everything, whereas a lot of big money managers, people that we work with, honestly, have been pretty bearish on this entire big rally up. What's your take on who the real smart money is?
I think mom and pop. I'll put it this way: mom
and pop.
Yeah,
fun to say.
We do financial planning for 54,000 households.
Something like that. Yeah.
And the advantage, I think, to the letter, almost all of them have over the so-called smart money, the institutional managers, etc. I don't know if we count as that, but let's keep us.
I don't want to consider myself in that. Yeah.
but the institutional manager is like, we have a financial plan. Most of us, the time horizon tends to be much longer. Institutional managers have different constraints. I mean, they are just like shareholders have to, or, companies have to put out earnings reports, every quarter, things like that. Institutional managers have to manage to a benchmark, for example. And they are, like, oh my God, my performance for this quarter is not that great. And come year end, maybe that's one reason you and I have talked about this. Why do stocks go up in November and December? Maybe there's a catch-up effect.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're lagging, and now all these institutional managers have to buy in to catch up on performance, right? Whereas mom and pop don't have to do any of this stuff. And especially if you're with, here's a shill for our own Carson advisors, right? If you have advisors, presumably you have a financial plan. And the reality is, does anything that happened in March and April change my financial plan or change the probability of success for that financial plan? My answer is probably not.
Sure.
Very likely not. And that's the long and short of it, really.
No, you're right. We had, as everyone knows on this, a near bear market. Stocks were down almost 20%, but then just as quickly, they bounced up nearly 20%, it feels like. So this big bounce, the ball under the water, you let it go, it goes higher. It is fascinating because our friends over at JP Morgan has some data. Retail bought exclusively back in April, like hand over fist. Whereas again, when you look at some of these big money managers, these surveys, a lot of them have been kind of bearish. These market strategists cutting their targets. So again, it's never as clear cut as it sounds, but I just want to give a pat on the back to a lot of you, right? Working with your financial advisors, right? Plans are useless, but planning is everything. President Eisenhower, I'm sure I've said that on here before, sticking with your plan. We've said before, apparently this is not the first year in history where there's scary headlines and volatility in the stock market. Every year you're going to see that. Everybody on TV, maybe not everybody, not me, but everyone else on TV in early April was telling you, get out, the end is near, here comes the comet. And fortunately, we'll see where this year finishes. We're pretty optimistic. We're going to have some decent second half of the year. But we got through the rough part of this year. And congrats to you, who we are saying is the real smart money. Sonu, we've probably gone about 5 minutes. Any final comments on this or anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's the importance of having a plan, right? And, a lot of our advisors, I know the first thing they do, and with all of you, clients listening to this, is how much risk are you willing to tolerate? So in a sense, what happened in March and April is sort of baked in. That's why you're not, otherwise you could, somebody could look at historical returns and say, what, stocks have gained, 7%, 10%, whatever, over the last 100 years. Let me put all my money into stocks. Most of us don't do that. Right. And we are aware of, like, Ryan, you put this chart out, like there's a 5% pullbacks, but 2-3 times a year. It's at 10%
Yeah.
pullbacks, at least once a year,
Right.
20% drawdowns near bear markets every 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's part and parcel of investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we account for that in our asset allocation. We don't put all our money into the stock market, anything
Sure.
like that. You have a broad, diversified asset allocation: stocks, bonds, cash, all of it.
Yep.
And I think that serves you well. And last month showed you why.
No question. We've said before, bonds help you sleep at night. We know historically stocks have done better than bonds. The next
Mhm.
50 years, I think stocks are probably going to do better than bonds. At the
Yep.
same time, when you have what we saw in April and bonds hang in there, or something like gold or even cash, that
Right.
helps you sleep at night. That helps you stay in those stocks that we know are going to
Mhm.
come back. And that's exactly what we have seen. So with all that, everybody, congratulations. You are the smart money so far in 2025. We really appreciate everyone listening. Again, this is the latest Carson's Take 5. We'll see everyone next week. Take care. Thank you.